Wandavision, directed by Matt Shakman, was the Disney Plus original series that premiered earlier this year that has finally kicked off the long-awaited...
Shut up, bitch!
Nick? What the hell are you...
I'm trying to sleep here.
But it's 2 in the after.
Okay, wait, what are you filming?
I'm doing a review on Wandavision.
Wait, really? That shit's cool. Can I join in?
Yeah. Sure. So without a doubt, the first thing that caught mine and everyone else's attention about this show that made it so unique was, especially in the early episodes, the homages to the American sitcoms throughout film history. From the 4th episode being a clear homage to Full House and all the sitcoms of the 80s, to episode 2 clearly just straight up throwing shade and just playing around with the ridiculousness of the Hays Code in the 50s with the 2 dual separated beds that was infamous at the time. All kinds of different homages to the little Easter eggs, to the way it was directed, to even the editing, like in the first episode when Wanda's superpowers are just done in cuts because at the time budgets and special effects were just not there yet. The show was just a beautiful homage to all classic American sitcoms while still mixing this brand new, unique, and fresh take on sitcoms with superheroes. A superhero show that is a sitcom. However, with this new unique style and even unique form of directing and editing for this superhero show from a franchise that has practically been doing the mostly same formula for the last decade, Marvel took their classic love of Easter eggs and setups for different movies and different series all to the next level with this fucking show. They took their Easter eggs and their looking in the background and blink it and you'll miss it scenes and made it the entire plot device for this entire show. From episode 1, by the very end, you could tell something is fucked up. Something doesn't seem right in this show. It was clear from the beginning. I mean, Vision was supposedly just brutally murdered a few movies ago. And from that, he went from a happy, loving suburban husband in a 50s sitcom. And the show is aware of this and takes advantage to it in a way that I never thought Marvel could ever make it possible. And to see them completely just go out of the box and then a few miles more with it is just something that you really have to see to believe. This show takes Marvel's classic formula and takes it over its head. Is that the way to say it? Takes it on its head and then spins it around a little more. It's that good. And you really start to notice something seems to be wrong in this world that you explore in this TV show. From every single awkward pause that happens throughout, especially the first 4 episodes. The 4th one being one of my favorites, where all of a sudden one of the main side characters that show up in the beginning of the episode, all of a sudden just asks if they want to redo that again and just start from the beginning. As if they were aware that they were in a TV show, but it seemed to be that even the main characters like Wanda and Vision were not even aware of this. And even other stuff, like characters just being absolutely terrified to talk to the main cast and seeming like they were going to die if they dared say anything they didn't like. And little nuggets like this kept hinting that something bigger was happening, something more sinister. There was something going on, and it seemed to all be centered around Wanda. It's just insane to hear myself even talk about something like this, to think about Marvel, the guys that even a few years ago were responsible for, in the TV era, making stuff like The Punisher or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, no matter how good those shows were, they really were just nothing but classic superhero stories, the MCU formula that they have perfected in their movies for the last decade. You would have never pictured something like this a few years later. I mean, I practically described Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, but as a $1 million budget TV show on Disney Plus. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And the internet has had an absolute overjoy of messing around with this. This show itself, and even the little things I talked about, how the story is told, has made it a practical goldmine for YouTube videos and nerd communities all over the internet, trying to figure out every little thing of what's happening in the show, and every little possible reference that they could be going at. I swear I learned more about MCU and Marvel Comics than I ever had in the last decade of following these movies just by watching YouTube explain videos like from Screen Crush every week. It's just not a common thing to see Marvel, after a decade, and especially the last 5 years of perfecting the MCU formula, to really just throw it out of the window and try something completely out of the box and afresh, like with Wandavision. It's something that you really don't get to see every day of superheroes in an American sitcom. It's just not really something you think about. And it's done in such a genius way, and it's such a beautiful passion into it. And every single scene with every little single detail, from the editing to the cinematography to the music to even the way they use the laugh track is just so perfect.
Yo, it's my turn, bitch. You've had enough.
But Nick, what are you even gonna talk?
So by episode 3, WandaVision had already been bringing in many small characters of the past films, such as Monica, who was a little... After that, Marvel began bringing in obscure characters from all over the MCU, such as Jimmy Woo from the Ant-Man films and Darcy Lewis from the first 2 Thor films. But WandaVision threw us the biggest surprise since Infinity War. Finale of the episode introduced a very special character in the show, Evan Peters Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men movies. With the MCU finally introducing a character from the Fox Marvel films after the purchase of the studio in 2017. With this crossover occurring, it finally confirms the long-awaited rumors of the multiverse theory of the X-Men/MCU crossover. And yes, the appears to turn out to just be another Citizen of Westview crossover alone was more than enough to confirm that Marvel is at least beginning the plans for a new crossover of the Fox-owned Marvel character, the Disney-owned Marvel characters, with rumors boiling down on the Doctor Strange sequel being the one to set them up.
It was actually pretty good. How did you learn how to do that?
I told you I like the show, man.
Okay. Good job. Good job. Anyway, as impressive as the show still was, with its genius writing and impressive visuals, by the last 2 episodes, the show really gave up its unique style and just went for the classic MCU formula once again. The show's originality and fresh ideas and unique concepts that it was exploring throughout the whole show for the last 6 episodes seemed to take a back seat, as almost as if the creators and the writers were terrified to try something too new and just go back to what's already worked before, which it does. I know it sounds like almost, epic fight scenes with the Vision and Wanda and Agatha, how boring. No, it is exciting. It's fun. As a matter of fact, for another group of my friends, they thought those were the best episodes of the entire show. But after you see such incredible exploration of, especially the exploration of Wanda's tragic past and what has caused her to create this strange world, or who's really in control of this, everything was just so interesting. You were hooked just by every episode, not even because of the incredible characters and the incredible performances, but just because you want to know what the hell was happening. It was like watching the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared videos on YouTube. Remember that era? It was like one of my most viewed videos. When every time a new one came out, you just couldn't help but be the first one there to get some answers. That's how good it was. But then the show gets rid of all that and its uniqueness and its incredible ideas and just goes for Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Thor, the Iron Man movies. It's just something we've seen before. However, yes, in the last 2 episodes' defense, it's not to even say that the entire thing was just formulaic MCU stuff that we've seen before. As a matter of fact, some of my favorite moments of the entire show came from these last 2 episodes. Specifically, the exploration of Wanda's childhood and her past, and even her obsession of sitcoms and where they came from. That was pretty awesome. And most importantly, I think one of my favorite battles of them all, that was barely won, the whole philosophical debate between the 2 visions. Though, admittedly, by the end, it does get very confusing that it seems now that Gray Vision, I believe that's what they call him, is the new Vision, but he just leaves. We don't know where he actually went. As a matter of fact, even for the final episode itself, it just left a lot of questions, a lot of confusions, not good questions of like, oh, I can't wait to see what they do next. Questions like, wait, Wanda just finally let go of this entire city that she's been torturing for how many months? Years, possibly? No, I believe it was just months. And they're just gonna let her go like that? No questions asked? No, hey, at least, sorry. Sorry that I kept you hostage for how many months? However, just like Game of Thrones, the last 2 episodes of WandaVision are not gonna take away the magic that was those first 7. The excitement of getting on every weekend with my friends to go see what the hell was happening in the show and what was it all leading up to. What was a new big character that was going to be revealed? Was the X-Men finally going to be here? Could we even get Deadpool in this? It's going to be 2 months that I'm definitely not going to forget. And in a time like this, still in the middle, or at least now finally coming to the end of the pandemic, still to just get around with some friends that I just really truly miss and bond over something, get excited over something. It's just something that you can't trade for anything in the world. And WandaVision delivered that and then some. I really hope that this show proves that the MCU is still capable of so many new fresh ideas to go so many different ways. And I hope Matt Shakman continues writing and directing for future properties. I know Falcon and Winter Soldier is finally out on Disney+. Yeah, that's how late I'm filming this. So I really hope that after WandaVision's success, they continue, even in the smallest ways, bringing new things to the table. And that's what WandaVision was at its best. A new idea to the table in a franchise that has already been going over a decade long. I'm going to give WandaVision a 9.5 out of 10. I know some people might think that's crazy. I know some of my friends think they absolutely hated it. I'm not one of those people. I generally think, despite the last 2 episodes being a bit disappointing, is still one of the best shows I've seen in a while, and one of the best shows that has ever come into the MCU. I mean, what was the last big show? Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I know The Punisher I heard was pretty good, but I didn't watch it, I'll confess. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. I had so much fun finally doing this again. I know it's been like a month since my last video, but for the first time I can actually say this, I have been busy for all the best things. I finally got vaccinated. Here's my card to prove it. I finally have a new job again. I can't show that really. You'll find out in the future. I'm getting to work. I'm studying. I'm getting shit done. And honestly, sometimes as much as I love this channel and as much joy as you all give me, I gotta give some time to, focus on myself and make sure I'm actually ready to do the stuff that I love. So it's all in good heart and it's all in good fun. But I'm so excited to finally be back here and doing some videos. Expect new videos coming soon. Expect a lot of new interesting stuff coming soon for this channel. And I cannot wait to show it to you guys. But for now, thank you all for watching this review. What did you think of WandaVision? Are you excited for the future of the MCU? Do you still think the X-Men are coming? I think they are. I think they're 1000% are. They wouldn't just do that for... Who wants a boner joke instead of Marvel? Instead of the X-Men? Come on, boners? Anyway, I hope you all really enjoyed this video. And as always, have a lovely day. See you guys. Man, I gotta say, Nick, you're pretty good at this stuff. I just still don't get it. What were you doing on Discord by yourself at this hour?
Oh, you started talking about your grades or some shit about how you're gonna flunk, and then I knocked out and I woke up to reviewing the show.
It's great. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, fuck you, kid.